All right, round 5 of Klutch Tickers has already been a roller coaster of emotions, and we haven't even had our driver's meeting yet. So originally I was going to be drifting the 3-rotor RH7 here for the very first time, but ultimately we decided it wouldn't be smart to rush that and risk something going wrong. Vargas is also at a really big drag event this weekend, and I really want him to be around for that car's first time drifting. So then the plan was to drive Trevor's C6 Corvette with the built LS7 in it. We tow it all the way here. I'm literally walking with my helmet, about to take my first laps, and the clutch goes out, just like mine did last time. I don't know what it is with me and Corvettes with clutch issues, but I felt really bad, but honestly I'm glad it happened before I even took my first laps in it, so I didn't think I did something wrong. At first we thought it was just the master. We then find another master because Savio's transmission in his C6 was down, so he let us steal his, and then we found out it was actually the slave, and we're not dropping everything on the Corvette in the dirt here. So I was super bummed, and we're looking around for different options. The FUN-HAVER crew is here with some of the RTR cars on display. So we called up Vaughn and asked about the Fox Body, and he says, go have fun. So this weekend, I'll be driving the FUN-HAVER Fox Body Mustang, and I'm really, really excited to get behind the wheel of that thing and have some fun. This is the FUN-HAVER Fox Body. It has a custom angle kit on it, hydro, IRS subframe swapped from a Cobra. I don't think I've ever driven anything like this, and I'm really, really excited. Currently, this car is set up for tall people like Cletus and Adam. Yeah, giraffes. So we're having to move the seat forward a bunch. Nick got here early and took care of that. We are also trying to put like a spacer to lower the wheel down. Like where it's at right now, it's just super, super high compared to where I need it. The only thing I'm a little concerned about is if I will be able to reach the hydro and like pull it based off the angle I'm going to be sitting at. But we'll figure that all out in the first practice session. That's in about 20 minutes.
Here we are around 5, so thank you. Let's just ignore them.
Yeah, it's not an inner clip, it's not anything. It's to force you guys to go around them, basically.
I want you to treat the burnout box like extra practice. Try mashing the throttle, see what it does, floor it, see what it sounds like and feels like a rev limiter. Try to steer all the way to angle. You got unlimited time in the burnout box, so try to use that to get somewhat of a feel for the car, so when you go up for your lap, you're more comfortable.
Okay.
Sound good? Try what your instinct is telling you. You're the one driving the car. Just trust your instinct, make it happen, and stay committed.
Okay.
I love you.
Love you too. Thank you. I think my biggest mistake is just not listening to my gut and how the car felt, and immediately trying second. I tried to make third work and it wouldn't, and I just kept going back and forth and back and forth. So my head is just scrambled. It 100% needs to be in second. I'm flat in front of the judges tower in third, and it's bodging, even with clutch kicks. Like, it just, the power is weirdly up high, which I wasn't expecting. So car, definitely gonna have to just keep it in second. That's the only way that I have enough day to go through. But in second, I don't have a lot of wheel speed, and I'm not making smoke in second or third. I tried clutch hitting it, being more aggressive. It's just not working. I just need to get used to it. I'm just stoked that I'm turning laps, that I got the opportunity to get in the car and turn laps here, and I just need to have fun. I'm going straight into qualifying. I'm not setting my expectations high. I probably won't make it, but at least I'll be having fun.
I'm a FUN-HAVER. I'm about to get some FUN-HAVER merch. Okay.
Huge thank you you to Vaughn and the entire FUN-HAVER crew. Like, I was really disappointed with how this weekend was starting out when my clutch pedal just went to the floor and I thought I would not be driving at all. So just huge thank you and shout out to them. I'm just glad that I am all the way here and getting to turn some laps and get to figure out the Fox body. If you guys can please go show them some love, check out their merch on FUN-HAVER.com. They got a bunch of really cool stuff. We'll see if I can put it together for qualifying. I'm gonna keep my expectations pretty low, but I'm out here, I'm having fun, I'm turning laps, so I'm happy.
What we see, I don't want to cut you off, but right now what you see, that is Vaughn Gitten's car, I believe, correct?
Yeah.
But that is not Vaughn Gitten, that is Mrs. Colette Davis. Oh, I want to go back. Fielding Shredder walking away with a 65. Fielding Shredder walking away with a 65 on his first run. But up next, we have Colette Davis and Vaughn Gitten's very own FUN-HAVER Mustang.
Yeah, this is definitely one of my favorite grassroots style cars. I love this thing.
Oh, and it's even better close up. If you guys get a chance to make it over here this weekend, you got to check out this car just up front and personal. It's just a tremendous build. As she makes the way, doing a great job filling that first outer zone, flicking into the touch and go. She's kind of shallow on angle as she makes her way into the second outer zone, but she's holding together. She looks like she's going to get a nice solid run out of this. Changing platforms, day of the competition has got... I'll tell you right now, that's going to build her tremendously as a driver. But come out here and go from her own personal car and jump in another car and compete. Colette Davis, got to give it up to Colette Davis out of Oviedo, Florida.
And it's tough to jump into another platform, especially the way that car is set up with a lot of grip. But here we go. Let's take a look at Colette's run here. And we could see she initiates at the right time, but does not have a lot of angle. I mean, this car is with a lot of grip, as I've mentioned before. Does not get out to the touch and go. You can see she's working the steering wheel there to get through the corner. Outer zone 2. Not too shabby right there. She's keeping a nice wide line through there, and then transitions. A little bit of a slow transition, but of course she's working with a new car here. I think she's doing an excellent job considering that this is a totally different platform.
Right, to go from her vet, right, and they have competition and be like, okay, I'm gonna have to change. I'm gonna have to drive a totally different car, and not just. Oh, there you go, Colette Davis walking away with a 45. Great job in using a borrowed car and putting down a respectable run.
I am going to be trying to do my second qualifying run in third gear. That might end up being the bad decision, but I don't have enough wheel speed in second to do much better than what I just did. I put points on the board. I qualified. I think I got a 45, but with the wheel speed in second, maybe I could go out again and get a 50, which there's a lot of drivers here right now, and I don't think that would cut it. So I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna try third gear. It is a little funky with how much I'm gonna have to clutch stitch it. The car does weird stuff when you try and put it to angle. It really wants to spin out. It just wants to spin like that. So you can't rotate it as fast, which I knew and I adjusted for earlier after my first 2 laps. I think I spun out multiple times. And the car was reacting weird too. When you do clutch kick, you can't just clutch kick it, it'll just spin out. So you have to kind of do an aggressive clutch kick, but then modulate again to get it settled and then go out. So Adam tried that out. I was able to ride with him when he was trying that approach. You basically enter shallow, so handbrake shallow, get the car to angle, maybe with some left foot brake, or just really throttle and wait for it. When you do the clutch kick, because I will need that trying to do this thing in 3rd gear, you gotta clutch kick it, but then modulate it a bit as you go out so it doesn't snap over spin, and then bring it out. I hope that makes sense. It's challenging and it's different, and if this was outside of a comp scenario, I wouldn't be taking it so seriously, but I really want to do good. I'm competitive and I put a lot of pressure on myself, and I just want to try and do my best. So that's all I can do. Hopefully I can pull it off, but it's at least worth trying since I already have an official score for my first qualifying. Also, we think a part of the weird handling stuff that I'm experiencing is that I have 275s all around the car. So I kept Vaughn's tires on the front, and then I put my Kumho Tire PS91's 275 in the rear. So I have a lot of grip. I've been wanting to continue to add pressure in the fronts, especially with just how the car was feeling. I was really having to work the wheel. So we aired the fronts up to 65.
Yeah, but just to reiterate, next season is going to be bigger and better. So I cannot wait.
But I mean,
It looks
just
like
look.
she's getting comfortable in that car.
It does look like she's getting comfortable. I mean, she's out here driving Von Gitten's FUN-HAVER. I mean, what does that say for clutch kickers? It's putting what an impact in the short amount of time that Clutch Kickers has been around, the impact that it's done to the drifting world. And everybody that you ask, that you come here, what do you ask them? What are the most what do you take away from Clutch Kickers, or what do you love most about? Everybody just says it's like a family atmosphere. Everybody comes here. Yeah. There's competition, right? There's maybe some rivalries, and everybody's serious to battle. But at the end of the day, getting together and having a great time and having fun.
I'll tell you what they need is some rental cars.
Yeah, I think we spoke to Zach. I think he's going to start working on that. All right, here we go. Colette Davis. She is not afraid of that car, and she is flicking it into the first outer zone. Whoa, locking up the front tire. Oh, no.
Oh, she went off the runoff.
Oh,
so
that's
it's
nice.
safe.
Yeah, I mean, that car is kind of pretty high there. So
well, she has a score, so 45, so
yeah,
should be okay.
That's unfortunate, but Colette, she will be here to battle it out tomorrow.
Yeah.
Walking away with a 45 on her first run. And she has plenty of time to work out whatever bugs or kinks are getting used to that car tomorrow.
Okay.
It's a bummer, but I'm stoked that Colette went out and tried something a little bit different. Wheel speed wise, this car really needs to be in third, but the grip balance is kind of weird, so we went and messed around with it on the drag strip for a while. My first lap out, I did the same exact thing as she did. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's something to do with the brakes being cold, or maybe something with the inline hydro, but it tends to like four-wheel lock up if you aren't very patient with it. I was pumped to see you go out there and try to at least send it in third, because I really felt as though if you did it in second again, you didn't really have too much room for improvement. I think it's really good for chasing because you'll have a lot of power on top and the car will naturally drive shallow, but the judges want to see smoke and big angles so much, which with how much grip your Kumhos have, it would be really hard for you to do.
Somehow, I think I made it in. I thought there was 80 drivers. I was like, there's no way. Like, the odds of me making it in are very low, but I'm gonna try. And then somehow, only 55 drivers? Everyone else is like zeroed or broke. So maybe I'll make it in for tomorrow, which would be sick, because then at least I have one more practice session.
Regardless, I'm still super proud of how you're driving in a brand new car, brand new chassis, totally different power plant, in a car that you don't really fit in.
We made it kind of work. I have about 2 seats worth of padding underneath me.
You're out here driving an extremely competitive series on a go-kart track, and you know, I know you can be hard on yourself sometimes, but just coming out here doing it and learning, like, you're going to build an encyclopedia of all these different cars you've driven and different tracks, and then everything's going to click at some point to where you'll know, like, oh, it feels like the Mustang did at this track, or oh, it feels like my 3-rotor did at this turn of the compound, and then you'll just be able to do everything perfectly and be badass.
That's why I wanted you to drive this thing, just to like communicate better what I was feeling, because this is so foreign.
Yeah.
I feel like everything I'm feeling is like opposite of how I would set really the only 2 cars I've ever drifted up, 350Z and a Corvette, and all, like, just it's just different. So
yeah, it's tough. I mean, you had what, like 3 or 4 practice laps with this thing, and then pretty much right out.
5, but I was going between. I kept that also my practice. I just kept going second gear, third gear, second gear, third gear. I was like, wait, last minute. Like I was just last minute deciding what to try. I was freaking out. But
What's the Albert Einstein quote? The definition of insanity is trying the same thing over and over again and expecting different results.
yeah. The 235s in the front have literally transformed this car. My first lap out, I feel like I can actually drive it and control it. I don't have to freak out about a snap, oversteer, spin out anymore. I feel so much better. I'm so mad at myself for not putting the 235s on yesterday and actually getting practice then. I might have like 5 laps total before we go straight into comp. There's a wreck right now that they are trying to tow off the track, so it's going to eat into a bit of our practice time. And then I need a lot of chase experience. I've only chased 1 time in this car, but at least it's feeling better and I have more confidence. That were already on the car, which were massive. They were 275, and then I put my 275s in the rear, and it was just snap oversteering, really hard to drive. It didn't give me any driver confidence to put the car where I needed to, just struggle bus. Now, lap 1, the car, I can put it where I want to. There's a lot more control at angle. It's not as snappy as it was, and it just feels so much better. I think my biggest lesson as a driver, like jumping from different chassis, I really feel like I just need to start with my baseline that I'm used to and then adjust, tweak it per the chassis. Because I just spent all day yesterday dialing in a setup where I just continued to struggle versus if I started with what I know and then dialed it and tuned it for the chassis, I feel like we would have qualified a lot better and my confidence would be way up there. But I had a lot of fun in practice and I'm just gonna do the best that I can. That is it for me. I'm going straight into comp, my first battles. The car that I'm battling is pretty fast. I'm not sure where he qualified. I imagine pretty high on the higher side since my qualifying was not that great. I qualified with a 45 yesterday. So I should be one of the earlier battles up. Regardless, I am very happy from today because I'm finally like shredding in that car and feeling so much better. And key for me also, keeping the car in second gear. I'm having fun in the FUN-HAVER. It's different. I know this is really good for me as a driver, and at least I have the satisfaction of like figuring it out before the end of the event. All right, Adam just finished up his practice. I'm about to go out for my first battle, but I wanted to show you the tires I was doing all the practice on, so about 4 laps, and I'm keeping them on. I'm not even putting fresh tires on, just to show you like the difference in power and grip compared to my Corvette. In the Corvette, 3 laps, I'm throwing on a fresh set of tires. But before I go into comp, a fresh set. This, I'm keeping them on, especially since I finally got a little bit more comfortable with the car. I don't want to make anything like dramatically different from my last lap in it. Also, I'm running way higher pressures to get the car to react the way that I want it to. Also, I'm not sure if I actually showed you guys how much padding I'm using here. I have like 3 cars worth of padding here. I put the lumbar support in the back because usually I add so much padding that my head has no support, and this is perfect. So honestly, I fit in this car way better than I thought I would.
There she is right there in the FUN-HAVER Mustang, and Troy Manners, he's got his hands full, but he's going to go ahead and lead, and there they go. Wow, Troy Manners putting about a car and a half gap on Collette as they work their way down the track. Can Collette reel him back in? Let's see. Troy Manners, he's going to get on the throttle right about here, full throttle, work her way, get deep into that touch and go. Could have got a little deeper, but making his way, and there you go. Collette diving in, trying to catch. Oh, kind of a big wobble there by Collette Davis as she comes through the second outer zone. Troy looks like he's doing a good job holding it together. Well, they made it through, no incident. That's good. Here we go. Collette Davis taking off down the straight. Troy Manners almost right out of back bumper as they initiate. Let's see as they make their way. Oh, Collette a little slow, a little late into her initiation there as they make their way through into the touch and go. Does a good job filling out that touch and go. And here she goes flicking into the second outer zone. Troy Manners starting to dive in for that attack as they make their way out of the second outer zone, and they're both going to flick into that third. Wow, Troy Manners diving in, trying to get that as close as he can to that FUN-HAVER Mustang that Collette is driving, and there we go. But did we get a call?
Yeah. Yep, there it is. Troy Manners advances to the top 32.
Well, I went out there, I did the thing. I really don't think I could have done much better given the scenario. I'm driving a new car with a new setup. with only a few laps of practice, but I had so much fun. Like, I'm just glad that today we got the setup better so that I could actually push the car a bit and be able to drive it more aggressively without worrying about it oversteering. I'm still mad at myself for making that mistake on my lead. The car locked up because I was doing something funky with the hydro and the inline, and I had to reinitiate, and it was just past the last cone for initiation, so I zeroed on my lead. But I'm glad that I was at least able to like try and put on a fight for the chase. Now if I have to drive that car again, I'll have a much better starting point. That is it for the last round of Klutch Kickers. I got a lot to prep and get ready for the 2022 season next year. Right now, I'm still like going back and forth on some of the final details for the Corvette setup. Next year, we're gonna be back in my car with a lot more power, which means we'll have a lot more fun. But that is a wrap on the 2021 competition season for me. First year ever competing in drift. Like, I've learned so much, especially with all the different cars I've been able to jump into. But that is it for this one, and I will see you guys in the next video.